Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Check. Mike is 59. Mike is 59. No go. Middle. No go.
Now the first carry for Ronald Jones. He'll have a first down past the 40 as they finally wrangle him in at the 48. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw that on that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Check. Hey, tight. 5 wide. Hey, high 7. Mike's 59.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. And that is incomplete. James Bradbury, he was right there to break it up.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. First carry for Christian McCaffrey. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 15.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Great. Hey, check Mike. Watch it, 5. Hell yeah. Look at it.
On 2nd and 9. Newton, it's caught. Smith. 13 yards, first down, Panthers.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? On first down, this is McCaffrey. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Panther first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On the ground, McCaffrey. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The Panthers have the first. It's a gain of 12.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Gun. 20.
They'll try the air now with Newton. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
I know you felt like saying touchdown there, didn't you, partner? That looked like a sure 6 points, but the contact jarred it free.
Got his hands on it, could not hold on through the end of the play.
You got tight. You got tight. You got tight. Hey!
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. Well, he can be a load to handle off the edge, and he can do it against the pass. Sure, he can do it against the run like he did there.
And you mentioned a load. How about having to adjust to his speed as well? Because not only does he bring some pop, he brings some dash as well. A nice play in that situation.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down.
52's the mark, boy. 52.
From the gun, here's Newton. Throwing right, and that's complete. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
On 4th down, Matt Hawk is on to punt. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it.
Let's go.
At their own 13-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
They'll try the right side with Jones. Jones hit, and the ball's hit. And Henry's hit. He lost the football. And some room to work. They'll call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
You ain't doing nothing. Stop.
Here's Samuels. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Ready?
Keeply on the tackle.
Hey, hold.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8 at the 37-yard line.
Tight go. Alert! Alert 3. Check 9. Slam. We go.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Allen trying to lay one up deep. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
Mine's 59. Switch out. 59's Mike. Check. 59. Hey, watch the lane. Check 4.
And here's Allen on 3rd down. And he's got a man. It's the tight end Howard, complete. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards.
First and 10 at the 49-yard line.
No score after one on EA Sports.
No score.
Two first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10.
Let's go, defense. Hey, man up, D.
They go back to the ground with Jones. And he'll get across midfield and into Carolina territory. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
4 yards on the pickup.
Tight.
2nd down.
Hey, seam 6.
Panthers 47-yard line.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Allen looking middle, and it's incomplete. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. And that'll make it 3rd down.
There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
Mike.
7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6.
Pick the edge. Come. Out. Stop.
So the shotgun snap to Allen. Taking a shot for Samuel. This is caught inside the 15. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Curtis Samuel, his 14th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Extra point by Gay is up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They'll be looking to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 is the score as they begin with a first down.
25. Check 25.
They start on the ground with McCaffrey. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
That's right, baby. Switch. Jim. Kill. Express. Check the hot read.
Here's McCaffrey. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
To the set. 88. 20. Nice, sweetheart. Check. Express.
From the shotgun to McCaffrey. He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Safety screaming. Gun. Off.
Newton. Quick slant, caught by Moore. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Kill. Turn it up. Kill.
This is McCaffrey. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
Watch twist. Express. Motion.
McCaffrey. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3.
Ready?
They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard. So on 4th down, Jason Garrett sends in his field goal unit. This from 54 yards away. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is.
Charles, 54 yards. I'm surprised that came up short.
I would agree with that one because normally, if he misses, it's accuracy, not length, because he has plenty of leg for that. But maybe it's like I hit my golf shot. You know, maybe it's like my wedge. You know, when you chili dip and you hit the ground ahead of it, sometimes that'll shorten your distance as well.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Check 13. Half 85. Half 85. I'm going
Back to the air on second down. It's Allen. Taking a shot for Samuel. He's got it at the 15. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Curtis Samuel with touchdown number 15 on the year and second of the game. And the Bucs get the quick strike touchdown. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw again. Newton. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. The Panthers have the first. It's a gain of 12. 2 minutes to play first half. It's 14-0. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. On first down, it's Newton. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
He's second in the NFL in interceptions, and you understand why. He plays a game of great intelligence, understands positioning, and has a great ability to break on the football when it's in the air.
So fun to watch his closing speed, and another example of it on that play. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
Gun.
Throwing again. Newton, and this one complete to Smith. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion.
8. 55, 955.
To the air again, Newton. A bullet throw, but incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
At their own 14-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But it's the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Hey, watch the slant. Watch out. Regular. 59's Mike. 59's Mike. Check. 59.
On 2nd and 9. Allen taking a shot for Samuel. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
Definitely worth taking another deep shot here. He's already found the end zone twice here in the first half.
Yeah, go back to that same well. They've had trouble containing him, but able to contain him on that play. To the air, Allen. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. You're under 30 seconds to go. Field position not great. Time to call it a half, wouldn't you say?
Well, you know we all have that little extra gene that says let's push the envelope a little bit, right? What needs to be going through the play caller's mind right now, a potential fumbled snap that can get returned, a strip sack that can get returned, right? Any of those types of plays, that should be a deterrent to calling something that could get you in big trouble.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
What we got? Check 26. 20.
This is Newton off the play fake to McCaffrey. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Here we go.
This time they stay on the ground. And they will rally and stop him short of the 1st down. They get him to the ground at the 26. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Carolina. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
And now this throw incomplete, and that is how this first half will come to an end. So we have come to halftime and what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we send you a stone's throw away across I-4 to Orlando. There standing by is Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Bucs with a lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. So a very short kick here. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
What's that? Now, Katie. Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys. Kill. 8. Kill.
Out of the gun, Newton. He's going to loft one deep left side here. This is caught inside the 15. So with a big gainer anyways, they'll go ahead and take that instead of the pass interference call.
They didn't need the penalty. It would have been different, right, if they had somehow lost some yardage somewhere, but they did not. Gained all they could, down to the spot of the foul. Nothing to be gained by taking the penalty.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. McCaffrey following the penalty. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. 2 yards that time. A stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3. So a decent deficit at this stage in the second half. 4 down territory?
No doubt about it. There's not a chance that he hasn't looked ahead and said, okay, if we gain yardage on this play, this is what we'll do going forward. If we lose yardage, this is the play call that I'll have ready.
Mike 52.
On 3rd and short, this is Janovich. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
Your trip is here.
They're going to go for now, 4th and 2. Remember, they can still get the first down at the 1 yard line, though.
Hey, Mike 52, Mike 52. Hey, come on,
Here we go with McCaffrey. And trying to push his way forward, but I think he's going to be short. And he is short. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the first down. And that will force a turnover on downs. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession.
I'm coming after you. Check three.
They'll try and get the running game going with Jones. And he'll take this up to about the 7 or 8 yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 8-yard line.
59's Mike. Check. 59. 56. Check 99. check 59. Mike, middle. Mike to 59. Double dog. That's the way. Watch the edge.
Again, it's Jones. And he's only able to work this from the 8 to the 10 for a pickup of 2.
He was brought down at the 10-yard line. A gain of 2. Brings up 3rd and 2.
56.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. There he goes left side. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. And all the way down to the 22-yard line.
Let's go, baby.
A big run there by Jones. 68 yards on the ground.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 22-yard line.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone.
Check 3.
Now a carry here for their fullback. Give them maybe a yard, quite the opposite from the previous big gainer.
Normally when you see a short gain in the middle of a 3-4 defense, go ahead and pat the nose tackle on the back because he's holding things up and taking on extra blockers, which allows one of the inside linebackers to roam free and make the tackle.
Mike's 50. Watch the curve.
And now they'll throw with Allen. He finds his tight end, Howard. That's complete. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 18 yards that time to push him up. 1st and goal.
First and goal at the 4-yard line.
Now a timeout called for by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter.
Mike. All day. Check. 5 wide. Shoot. Half. 50. On the ball.
And he's in. Touchdown, Buccaneers. From 4 yards out as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This will be taken very short. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
Hey, a simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time. But you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position. We were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again. Continue to have that kind of confidence, not worry about the one play that didn't allow them to get into the end zone.
And this time they'll be trying to get it into the end zone. We'll see what they do. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
Let's get off the field,
To throw again, Newton. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Mark 55, Mark 55. Gun. Getting that hard. He's checking. 8. Crash.
The shotgun snap for Newton. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 14 yards, good for a Panther first down.
First down, Panthers.
Newton now just 7 of 15 so far, but he's got a 1st and 10.
Let's put that team on the bus. Check it back. 20.
Newton throwing again. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Newton. He finds Matthews. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. This defense tightening up a bit. That last catch, just 1 yard, making it 3rd and 9. Now, whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Throwing again is Newton. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. Here's Matt Hawk now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket.
Good work, boys. Let's go.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Back now in Tampa. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. They'll go again to Jones. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 2 yards, good enough for a first. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Curtis Samuel, 70 yards as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they'll set up with a 2nd and 1. Now a run with McCaffrey, and he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard. The Panthers on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll run with McCaffrey. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. They'll run for it. McCaffrey, and he is not going anywhere. They stop him for no gain. Christian McCaffrey unable to get to the marker, and the Bucs are going to take over with excellent field position to boot. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now a 1st down carry by Jones. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. That'll go as a loss of 5, and it'll be a 2nd and long. And this is caught off a deflection. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Sometimes luck is all you need. That was not even the intended receiver on that play.
Well, Johnny on the spot, though.
Yeah, and it turned into a big play for those guys on offense. They'll take it each and every time.
Allen. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards.
1st and 10 at the 18-yard line.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Jones. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 at the 17-yard line.
Throwing on 2nd down. Allen. That is caught inside the 5. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Jalen Samuels, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys continue to pour it on. Extra point by Gay is up and good, and that will extend this big lead.
Buccaneers 35, Panthers nothing.
And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Their own 25-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. The Panthers have the first. It's a gain of 12. Newton now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. From the gun, Newton. Complete. Smith has it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give him 15 there, and the Panthers have a first down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these players
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Chad Thomas bringing the power on the sack. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score.
Mike 55, Mike 55. Hey, eat.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Newton, he's going to let it fly. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, they really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, and especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Newton. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Moore. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 35.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. Newton on first down. Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete passer we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them, holding them under 200 today.
Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
At their own 3-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. There were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, Just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Charles, thinking back to what you said in the first quarter, that part of the magic elixir for a road victory for these underdogs was going to be winning the turnover battle. Well, they only have one right now. Look at the scoreboard.
Yeah, not exactly playing to the form that I subscribed, right? When you talk about winning that turnover battle, that evens things out, especially for a road team, especially for a team that's an underdog.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. So Allen's going to look to throw. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that's caught inside the 35. A big play that time for Tampa Bay. 51 yards.
Well, go ahead and throw. Ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
Well, right now, maybe. They're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone if they win big.
Hey, alert. Mike's 50, Mike's.
Hey, tight.
Let's go, Heavy. Heavy, what you got? What you got, Heavy? What you got, Heavy? Give me some.
First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. That one goes for 24 yards.
That's another Buccaneers.
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal.
Let's go. Let's do it.
So fire the cannons. It's a victory here for Tampa Bay. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away